Hello, guys, and welcome back to the NW Sportscast. The Mariners, they fall back to 500 and they lose to the Texas Rangers in game two of this set, 5-1. This is the NW Sportscast Mariners post-game show. Levi, what happened in this one? It looked like Bryce Miller was kind of dominating to start the game. The Mariners get on the board early, kind of a continuation of last week, and then all of a sudden it goes downhill from there. What did you see?
Well, it's a tough game. Cal Raleigh was not in the lineup because he had tooth surgery this morning.
Great,
Apparently had
great time
a
for tooth surgery.
really bad toothache. So I guess that Wednesday morning tooth surgery in Texas, right? I guess. Um, and then J.P. Crawford, he ends up being a late scratch as well, with some oblique soreness. So I'm seeing some people say maybe we should call up Ryan Bliss, maybe we should call up Sam Haggerty.
I think you want Ryan Bliss.
No, actually, I want JP Crawford to not be on the IL. So I'm hoping that we don't have to call anybody up because I don't like when my guys get hurt. But yeah, so we got two of your five, top of the lineup hitters are both out. So it was going to be an uphill battle offensively, and it just didn't happen tonight. We struck out 14 times. We did not get that many hits. When we did get hits, it was all the same guys, Ty France, Dylan Moore, and Josh Rojas all checked in with multiple hits. But Julio
Rojas at the top of the lineup.
Rojas, yeah, I like that. I like giving him a chance at leadoff. And what did he
From
do? He was
9-1.
and he leads off with a triple and scores a run, right? Josh Rojas, how about that? Honestly, he's probably your player of the game today. 2 for 5 with the triple, run scored.
At what point do you get off of the Rojas isn't good narrative, Levi? At what point is that for you?
Well,
Because
I've never been on that narrative.
you've been on the Rojas will not be the primary starting third baseman.
No, I was on the Urias won't be the primary third baseman.
Yes, okay, but
I,
then
I said I think Rojas will be the full-time third baseman by the end of April.
okay, what I thought was like you were saying they're both going to be bad. Urias is not going to be in the team, and Rojas is going to like be a backup third baseman platoon guy with Dylan Moore and
Well, that was
Ryan
in the
Bliss coming.
scenario where Ryan Bliss gets called up, which
Yeah,
I
well,
don't.
I thought that's what your prediction was, but
Right. Well,
apologies.
at this point, I don't think you can predict that anymore. Josh Rojas has been very good. I think that he has done everything I thought he would and more. I thought he would be like a 250 hitter, you know, good speed, good defense. No, he's actually been a 320 hitter with admittedly not amazing defense, but he does make some good plays. He is in -1 outs above average, so he's apparently slightly below league average as a defender.
Yeah,
But at the same time, Suarez is -3 outs above average right now for the Diamondbacks.
yeah, yeah. Um, Suarez, defensively, I think he's probably better than Rojas, especially what we've seen last year. But definitely an interesting stat. The Mariners, though, then they fall to the Rangers here, and now they are 1-1 with the Rangers in this series. A huge pivotal game tomorrow. The series could go either way. What do you see in that one?
Well, obviously facing a lefty and Andrew Heaney, so that presents its own difficulties. I'm hopefully Jonathan Clase is back in the lineup. I wasn't really sure what we were doing, resting him 2 days in a row. Just kind of feels odd. Like he had a good series in Colorado, and then
Yeah.
the reward was that, oh, you get to pinch run for us tonight. I don't know. So I would like to see him back and hopefully get Cal back in the lineup as well. Um, and then for our side, Luis Castillo back in the mound again. Because obviously we
Gonna get
skipped the
another good start.
rotation.
Yeah.
Well, it would be awesome if he could just come out here and dominate the Rangers. I think that's probably going to be the key to most of our wins this season. We're not going to score 8-7 runs every game. It's going to be a lot of 4-2, 4-1s, and we want to be the team that scores four. I think, if we can score 4 or 5 runs, and then we just need our pitcher to do well. But yeah, Castillo, he's supposed to be the ace of this team. Hadn't been. He had a nice start in Colorado, though. Pitched really, really well against a pretty bad Rockies lineup. Let's be honest. So I don't know.
Sure.
What do you think he'll give us against the Rangers? Rangers have a good lineup.
I think he'll go 5 deep, 2 earned runs. I think he'll have a good outing. I think he's going to have to battle on the counts. I think the Rangers are going to make him throw a lot of pitches, but he's going to get his own. They're not going to give him anything easy. He's going to get pulled in the fifth after throwing 90 to 100 pitches, and I predict 2, 3 earned runs maybe. So a solid outing for Luis Castillo, an outing which the majority of the time should translate to a Mariner win. However, it all depends on what the offense does on the other end. And you saw it here. Bryce Miller, all things, considered, he played pretty good. The Rangers are hitting him hard for sure.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of hard hit balls in this game. A
eight,
couple home runs,
eight,
4 walks too. 4 walks in 4 innings.
yeah, 8 of the 11 hard hit balls by the time Bryce Miller gave up those 2 solo shots of above 100 miles per hour were from
Wow.
the Rangers. So,
Wow.
it was bound to happen. And Adolis Garcia gets his, and so does Evan Carter. But they were only solo shots, and that's really the difference. If Bryce Miller walks a couple guys and then gives up a Garcia home run or something like that, that's when these starts can kind of balloon into really bad outings. But this was still a pretty good start, things considered, as far as the outcome goes. But the Rangers showed it tonight why they are a good lineup. They scraped 5 runs across the board in 3 different innings. It was bound to happen, and the Mariners, credit to our offense in some ways where we had 8 hits, but 1 for 11 on the night and with runners in scoring position. And that was a big thing last year. It was not being able to score with runners on second, runners on third, 1 out guy on third. Someone tries to do too much, not trying to hit a fly ball into the outfield, just kind of get it through the gap. I saw a lot of that tonight. Don't love to see that. I feel like the Mariners really kind of settling in, letting counts, seeing pitches, letting counts get full and stuff like that. And today they seemed a little bit antsy. Julio Rodriguez goes 0 for 4, including a really weird defensive play where he fake caught it. It was very odd. I don't know if you saw that, Levi, but anyways, this offense not being able to hit with runners in scoring position. Do you think this is a problem that persists tomorrow and in the coming weeks? And was the last few games the outlier, or is this game the outlier?
I think you could say they're both outliers. Obviously, scoring 1 run and being that bad with runners in scoring position is not going to happen every game. And also hitting 550 with BABIP and scoring 9 runs against one of the worst pitchers in baseball isn't going to happen every game. So they're both outliers in that sense. But
and you give up 2 errors. Also,
yeah, Haniger with an error in right field. Mitch has been a little slow lately. He did end up with an RBI in the first inning tonight, but average starting to dip down to 256 now. So nothing worth worrying about. Where are you at right now with Mitch Garver, who's now hitting 141, and where are you at with Luke Raley, who's hitting 186?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm starting to buy the Josh Rojas stock. And if I am being fair to Josh Rojas, I kind of have to be fair to these other guys too.
Yeah.
I can't be a fan that kind of just looks at it one way. I'm starting to sell some Luke Raley / Mitch Garver stock, more so Mitch Garver because he's had more opportunities. Luke Raley still, isn't finding himself in the lineup that much. It's been better over the last couple of weeks or so. It seems like Scott Service is kind of listening to some of the fans' sentiment of playing Luke Raley, but still, I don't see enough sample size to really judge Luke Raley quite yet. However, Mitch Garver in the lineup pretty consistently, and he's just not hitting the baseball. I don't know exactly what's happening because he was such a good hitter last year. The big thing was just his health, and that was kind of the thing on Mitch Garver. It was, if he's on the field, he's going to be a great baseball player for your 2024 Seattle Mariners. But it's if he can stay in the field. And that's not the problem right now. The problem is he's just not playing well. His batting run value is 23rd percentile. His expected his expected batting average is, you can count it on one hand, Levi. That's 2 percentile. He's expected to actually be worse than he is. So he's not even getting unlucky. He's technically getting lucky.
What's his expected average?
159. His expected slugging, 7th percentile with a
Yeah.
276 expected slugging. His average
Nice.
exit velo is hanging right around average at 62. Barrel, hard hit, both down. And this is the big thing. His whiff and his K rate at 19th and 21st percentile, respectively. That's the things that really he needs to stop doing. He needs,
Yeah.
when he swings, he needs to make contact. And by making contact, he's going to limit that K rate. Those are the couple of things he needs to do, and he'll be all right. But when you compare 2024 to 2023, it's impressive how different they were.
Yeah.
With
It's
with
crazy.
19th percentile this year and K 21st percentile this year, you go back to last year, his whiff percentage was up to 60th percentile, above average. He still struck out a lot, but he did not chase at all, 98th percentile. And this year, he's also chasing a lot of bad things happening for Mitch Garver. I quite frankly don't have an answer for you, Levi. I don't know
Yeah.
what's really happening, but he needs to turn around because our other options at DH aren't super great.
Well, what you could do, and we're not at this point yet, and we probably won't be at this point for a couple months. I mean, it would take a couple months for us to get this. But what you could do is you could say we're gonna move Mitch to DH. We're gonna have Clase be your everyday left fielder, and Dom Canzone can be our everyday right fielder. And then Garver would then have to fall into the role of backup catcher and backup first base, and then you just get rid of Sebi Zavala and cut him loose. But that is running the risk again of A, you're giving Garver even fewer at bats, and B, you run the risk of injury. But if he's hitting 140 in June, at some point you say, okay, we have to either keep you or keep Sebi, but we can't keep you both because two backup catchers who both can't hit is a bad way to, stack your roster.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't love Mitch
Hopefully
Garver.
Garver goes on a tear and we don't have to worry about that.
True, true. I don't love Mitch Garver going and playing catcher. He's not a
But if
great
he's
defensive
hitting
catcher as it
but
is.
if he's hitting 150 in June, I'm saying in June or July, if he's still hitting 150, he's not giving you anything offensively. You might as well use him for defense because we have him under contract. We are paying
Yeah,
him this year and next year. We can't get rid of him. He's on the team,
yeah,
no
yeah.
matter how bad he is.
So
So you have to get value somehow, right?
you do. So the big thing with Garver, the thing that strikes out for me when you contrast his last year versus this year, his run value when facing four seams fastballs last year was at 10. And that's the top of the league, right? That's like almost as high as you. I mean, you can get higher, but like that's really good as 10, right? You
Yeah.
look at this year, his four seam fastball run value is at 1. So that is
So he's not hitting fastball, which
he's
is
not hitting fastballs at all, and he's
right.
still facing a lot of them. He's facing 30% four seam fastballs, and then 18% he's facing sliders.
Well,
So
and he's never been good against breaking balls.
correct, but I mean, sorry, 18% sinker. My bad. I was
Okay.
trying to do so both four seam fastball and sinker, both fastball pitches. He's facing nearly half of the time, and his run value for those two pitches, four seam fastball is 1, and sinker is -3.
I mean,
That is
that's
horrendous.
unacceptable.
Last year, his sinker run value was 3, which wasn't great. But compare that to -3 this year, it's terrible. And then you look at his slider. So his top 3 pitches he's facing, four seam fastball, slider, and sinker. And those run values are 1, -1, and -3, respectfully. And that's making up almost 75% of the pitches he sees. That's not going to get it done. He needs to
Yeah.
figure out how to hit the fastball again. He's a fastball hitter. You saw that last year. You've seen that in years past. And right now, when he's seeing fastballs, because he is seeing them, 3 of every 10 pitches he sees is a four-seam fastball. He needs to make contact with that, and he needs to hit the baseball hard. And that's the thing he
Yeah.
needs to do. He needs to figure out what worked last year and needs to get back to that.
Well, you know what that makes me think, Drew, is that so he's never been good against breaking balls. So I don't really care about that. Like we knew this going in, but
Correct. Yeah.
the fastball thing makes me think, could this just be a timing issue? Like
Maybe.
can't hit a fastball. Is that doesn't necessarily like you theoretically he's striking out a lot. He's striking out a lot against fastballs. I wonder if he's just like really, really having a bad timing issue, which in that case, you would think that it would sort itself out over the season. But also, there is a trend that I've seen on social media of it shows bat speed and
Mm,
it shows the age versus the bat speed, and looks really interesting because it goes like this, right? From about age 20 up here, right? And it stays pretty consistent. 29 it dips a little bit, 30 dips a little bit. Then at 31, it starts to go way down, 32 even further, and then it plummets down past 32. So he is at that point where it would not be out of the
yeah.
ordinary for his bat speed to fall off a cliff. And Ty France, his bat speed fell off last year. He went to Driveline, seems to have fixed it. Maybe that's what Mitch Garver needs too. But you do have to worry. Could this just be an aging problem where the bat speed is the problem, or is it, if it's a timing issue? I'm not that worried because I think all baseball players go through timing issues and they go in slumps and they work through it, right? If
Yeah.
it's a bat speed issue and he's on the wrong side of 31, there's sometimes there's not a fix there. And a lot of times what happens
True.
is guys retire. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, the good news is he's actually faced this problem before, where had been unable to really hit the four seam fastball. And it's been a really, really weird trend. So follow along with me.
okay.
2019, his expected batting average for hitting the fastball was at 280. So that's really good, right? Then you move into the shortened 2020 season, and he slumped. His expected batting average for four seam fastball was at 162 and a negative a run value there. Then you go to 2021 and it skyrockets again, 350 with a 7 run value. So now you see it goes up, it went back down, and then it goes up again. Then in
Yeah.
2022, guess what happens? Let's follow the trend here, Levi. We've all
Yeah.
made it through our 12 grades. It's the
Right.
first grade activity here. What does it do? It goes back down. 222 expected batting average with a run value of 2. And then in 2023, what come down must come up, and he's expected 340 with a 10 run value. And now this is the year where he would, if the last 4 or 5 years have represented anything, it's that this is the year that he would not be able to hit a fastball again. I don't really know what it's all about, but
So you're
right
telling me next year he's going to be great.
now, next year he's going to be great at hitting fastballs. This year is his down year. I should have told Jerry DePoto before he traded for Mitch Garver. So that's on me, Mariner fans. But very interesting, up, down, up, down, up, down, speaking like a second grader. But sometimes the simplest things in life are the most accurate. It's a very interesting situation. This is turning into a Mitch Garver video, Levi. But the Mariners
Yeah.
did lose a baseball game today, believe it or not, against the Rangers 5-1. And that will do it for our post game. We're facing off in game 3 tomorrow. We also have the NFL draft, which is arguably a bigger deal, you could definitely say. We will have one more draft video going out tonight. Please watch that. As for this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so, so much for watching, as always. And Levi.
As always, guys, go Mariners.
See you guys.